Yeah, hello guys, China Uncle Mikey here. Well, I feel it's so lucky that I can still, sitting here, talking to the camera, making this video for you. Because some bad situation happened to me actually in the last couple of days. As you can see, I'm a little bit, weak or, ugly or whatever you can call it, but I'm still alive. Well, currently I'm now in Paris, in the airport, the Charles de Gaulle airport, and I'm living in Sheraton Hotel, which is a super expensive hotel because I need a really nice place to, stay and just to bring myself to recover, to getting health. Yeah, so so the fact is, as you can guess, I got the virus. A lot of people said, it's just a kind of flu, and you don't really have to worry about that. I think it's up to case by case. Actually, it's really depending on the people. For me, it's also not really bad. I don't have like lung capacity issues. I don't have like heart issues. I don't have like brain like move or move my eyeballs problems. I don't have all these kind of problems, but I got fever, really high fever in the last couple of days. Actually it was it was lasted for more than 24 hours, which I was decided that I could not handle it. Then I called ambulance. I was rescued by somebody in another country. But this video isn't a video that I'm going to talk about, all the experience that I, experienced in Paris, in France, about to get sick or, hospitals. But the reason that I'm going to, the reason that I'm making this video is about, it's quite pathetic actually. After two years, I'm still talking about this pandemic and virus and sickness. Actually, in the 2020, at April of 2020, when I met Simon Yu, we were talking about the virus is meaningless. It's just some kind of pandemic. We can handle it within maybe a couple of months, right? Our life would became like normal back in the year 2019, and we were able to be travel freely, which is actually true nowadays in Europe. But you still have to be very cautious about your personal healthy condition, if you can handle this virus or not. Even you are fully, vaccinated. I'm vaccinated, 2 doses of Pfizer. I didn't take the third booster shot because I have to wait a certain period of time. But as a as a YouTuber, or not really a YouTuber, but as a experiencer, I really love to explore the unknown part of this planet, and I want to just feel the social system, and I just wanna to see people. Sorry, I have to drink some tea. But anyway, put all these, small talks aside. So today I'm going to talk about the difference between got COVID in the Western countries and got this disease in China. The main difference is the human rights. So in the last maybe 3 weeks almost from the very beginning of the breakout in Shanghai. You got Shanghainese people blocking their local community. It started from, small scales, right? It was in Pudong or it was in Minhang district. Just, some certain areas were blocked. But, Omicron is kind of like, tremendously fast spreading, right? Then now the situation turns into the entire Shanghai city is blocked. So now you see the situation changes from the very beginning. People were okay, like the Shanghainese were okay. Yeah, I will just stay at home for maybe, 2 weeks or 1 week. Let's support the government. You got this, basically, if you talk about Shanghai, you got these nice residents, like the nicest residents on this planet are the Shanghai residents. Or I'm not like bragging something because I'm from Shanghai, because you always heard that they were talking about, yeah, let's trust the government, they will do the job properly, we have to cooperate, let's stay in the home and so and so, right? Then situation, goes on, sometimes you got some, 居委会, right? Residents, community distribute some vegetables to you. And sometimes they ask you to, post what you gain in WeChat to basically appreciate what the government, has done to you. Well, they lock you in the first place. Then you are running out of food. Then they give you something. Then you have to appreciate them, right? Is this interesting? Okay. Well, now you see, people are talking about they are in shortage of food. I don't see my relatives are now in really severe shortage in food, but the food shortage is a big problem because Shanghai is a massive city. 25 million residents plus a lot of migrants, workers currently live or not living in Shanghai, right? Basically, it's 30 plus millions population that lives in Shanghai. Without lockdown, the city is running by those delivery companies, and they are doing awesome jobs to deliver all the parcels or the packages to your doors, right? But now the government, because of the fast spreading of the virus, they shut down. They basically not shut down, but stops all the delivery companies like Meituan or Ali or whatever it is, right? There are thousands of that. And you also see the delivery man was taken down to do a test or forced to do a test. Because, the delivery man, I kind of respect them, right? They are doing a really high-loaded job, but get really low pay. You cannot say super low, but, compared to Western standard, that they are earning like, I don't know, pennies, right? But this is not the point. The point is now, if you stop everything, right, then the government has the responsibility to run everything, right? Otherwise, you will find it's almost impossible to distribute the daily necessities for the people, right? So now it's not like one place or another. You see a lot of complainings and people, now, especially now these days, right? In the last couple of days, friends and relatives or classmates group or work colleagues, old colleagues groups, or all talking about how to get these like daily supplements. Sometimes they are in shortages of vegetables. Sometimes they are in shortages of I don't know, rice, or they have to dig out some old flour to make bread or something. Because, believe or not, the majority of my friends group or my personal relation network in Shanghai, majority of them, I really believe the Chinese government, right? You can say, they, I was talking about, I say, well, I was, challenging them, right? You believe the government too much, right? Basically, you are too lazy to, just to make yourself to be capable, to be able to handle everything. Or you, right? If you hand over your rights and your power to the government, right? Which means you lose the control of yourself, you lose your faith, right? But majority of the Chinese, they don't understand this, because this is how do they grow up, this is how did they educated, and this is how they experienced in the whole society, right? Because if you don't believe the government, you don't have a choice, right? Who else that you can believe? You cannot believe American government to help you something, right? So that's the only choice in Shanghai, even, that you have to believe it, and you have to even be positive about it when the negative things happen to you, and you have to doing nothing actually. You have to follow or obey. Somebody try to do some protest, or all of a sudden they will be silenced, and you see those footages, right? A lady says something in WeChat, and then all of a sudden, like, police come here knocking your door and ask you to shut up. So when you have no choice, and the only thing that you can do is wait something happen, so that makes you a human really incapable, because now you are not able to get out, and you see your food is running gradually to the end, but you cannot do anything, right? So that will cause a lot of anxiety, maybe worry and complaining, and these negative emotions. So that's why you see now the entire Shanghai city is in a negative vibration, right? Very anxious or anxiety about the current situation. They expect the whole lockdown situation can be finished as soon as possible, which is understandable, right? But this is not the worst part. The worst part is if you are tested in negative, or if you are tested in positive, then all of a sudden you are another group of humanity, or you are a subhuman, right? Because the whole policy is dividing people into this way. So when you are testing negative, well, you are still in a group of okay people. But if anyone in your family or yourself tested positive, then you are categorized as the opponent group, because the healthy or non-infected people will see you as a monster because they don't want to be infected, which is understandable, right? But when a person who got sick, like me, right, really want a help, but the first shock that or the first idea they popped in mind is, well, that's really bad news for me, because first you have to leave your cozy home, and those medical stuffs will drag you out, or if you don't resist, you just follow them, right? They will use buses and transport you to those temporary hospitals. Usually the living condition over there isn't great, and it's not even a good idea to put all those patients with different variants of the infection of the virus together, live together, and and psychologically, when you understand that you are positive, you are a COVID patient, you're scared, right? You don't know what will happen to you, right? Maybe you will got some big issue in your life, or even die along the road, or whatever it is, because this is all you saw on the medias in China, right? So, sorry, let me drink some tea. So, all around the road, if you are a patient, right, in China, COVID patient, they send you to some place. Now, like the whole Pudong area is sent to Jiangsu or the Puxi. I mean, not all the patients from the Pudong district are collected together and transported to Jiangsu province, because in Shanghai they don't have enough temporary hospital to reside you or put you there. So they ask the other provinces to help Shanghai to allocate these patients. So all the patients or patients tested or filtered by the PCR test or whatever it is are collected together and from Puxi to the Zhejiang province. So you have to leave hundreds of kilometers away from home, and you are sick. Somebody, I believe, will have the same symptom as me, like high fever, so and so. When you're in a unhealthy status, then you still have to handle this like long distance travel crap, and finally you are located in a temporary hotel. The condition isn't like this one Sheraton, right? This is very bad, actually. For a patient, I can feel them, but I can do nothing. I can only make a video, talk about that or something. So this is basically the most scary part of being sick or being a COVID patient in China. It's not about the virus itself. The virus itself is not going to kill you, but the whole brutal inhumanity way of handling the virus will maybe make you in a big trouble, because a lot of older people, maybe they have some other symptoms, they cannot get the proper treatment for the real disease which they had, and we saw a lot of cases, right? People were denied to enter the the hospital, because basically nowadays all the hospitals are closed or something, and also like infants are separate from their parents and so and so, and pets, all these kind of things. So yeah, I think I talked too much. So back to the main point. The main difference, to get a COVID in China versus get a COVID in almost the rest of the other countries even in Vietnam, I don't think you will get that bad situation. It's not about get sick, you are a patient, you need some care, and you still can own your human rights, right? When you get sick, you are treated as subhuman. Your human rights is, almost nibbled or partially, or, severely offensed, and which you cannot do anything against that, right? So it's like in a zombie land, right? There are zombies and humans. When a human got infected by the zombie virus, then you are all of a sudden an enemy, right? But coronavirus isn't a zombie virus, right? It's not that bad, right? It's bad when the symptom is bad, right? But there are hundreds of other ways to handle with that. But we don't see China deal with that in a humanity way, right? Anyway, well, I can talk about like in the Western world, I got the virus, right? I was verified by the hospital, and first I'm in a foreign country. I'm in France. I didn't even charged by the hospital here. It was a big surprise. They sent ambulance, helped me and give me the treatment, and nurses and medical equipment were involved, and I didn't get any charge, which is a big surprise. I really appreciated about that because of the Paris hospital saved me. It's not really a safe, but they helped me in a really bad situation that I really need help, right? I wasn't discriminated by any hotels, because I was calling the hotel that I was staying for help, right? I didn't see like they jump off their chair, and all of a sudden point to you are COVID patient or something, right? They tried their best to help me, right? So now I just checking this 5-star hotel, right? When I check in, right, they didn't discriminate me. Even I got COVID, right? I was still allowed to, check in, living here, I just, do a self-responsibility, right? I manage myself to, reduce the contact to the other people. Every time when it's necessary that I have to get out, put on a mask, I went to pharmacy to buy, those medicines to reduce body temperature because, the constant fever burning, it's really harmful to the body. So I need those prescriptions. In China, it's almost impossible now to get those medicines in pharmacy. You need a government approval or something. So, yeah, and you don't see the stuffs in the pharmacy super alerted, right? Looking at you different, right? This is, monster, right? He is going to kill me or put me in a bad situation. Because everyone here sees this is a ordinary stuff, right? It's not even a national, pandemic nowadays, I think, in Paris or all the other European countries, right? So, sorry, I have to drink a little bit, otherwise I cough. Yeah, so this is what I can tell when I'm sick in the hotel. But I really want to talk about this topic because the difference is so obvious. The difference isn't about the disease itself. The difference is whether your human rights is going to be taken away or not. Whether you can live in decency or you have to live as a slave. All right, thanks for watching. China Uncle Mikey. See you in next video. By the way, I have whole dozen of fantastic travel experience video from Germany to Belgium to Luxembourg, finally to France, that I'm going to release to you guys. Hopefully it will also be interesting, and you may see the explanations about how I got the virus, or the logs that how I was, feeling sick, in those videos. But anyway, China Uncle Mikey, see you in China Uncle Mikey, see you in next video.